Hello there, I'm Tara Scubella, guide and founder of Earth Tantra, where we heal with nature and transform with Tantra. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about why Tantra is not an easy fix. And so especially in a modern age, right, where we're looking for something to fix us really quickly with Google and I guess now AI, how can we fix something instantly, right? That instant gratification, which does have its place, I will say. But Tantra is not an instant gratification life practice, life pathway by any means. Tantra, the word itself, weaving for expansion of. So tan or tanning a hide, weaving in hundreds of modalities, hundreds of practices for reaching our higher self, for expansion of. And so because sometimes when people come across Tantra, they get a little confused because there's so many practices. Do you have to learn them all? Do you have to know them all? Do you have to master them all? No, you don't. But there are so many beautiful practices that help and guide us not only with our inner healing, but to connect more with our higher self, our better self. So whether you're curious about Tantra for the self-improvement piece, the spirituality guidance, that's up to you. But there's practices that can help you along your focus. And sometimes we come in maybe for that spiritual piece, and maybe putting aside the work that we need to do, the self-improvement, and then it arises. We realize, oh, all of the self-reflection and guidance with our inner guru and perhaps a guide that we trust. There's a lot more to be done to reach our higher self, to be a better person in that realm. And sometimes we enter Tantra thinking just for the fixing piece, the healing piece, and then we recognize the whole spiritual component can really weave into our lives on a very beautiful level for unity, for our spiritual practice, for connection of, for universal alignment. But no matter what steps that you take in learning Tantra, which I always encourage people to learn in person first, if you have that capability, sometimes we don't. All of these steps along the way can be very profound as we learn and grow. So this quick idea, right, this quick fix doesn't happen, but along the way, we can grow in very profound ways, especially when we start from the base, laying that foundation and understanding the process, healing from the roots up, of course, and really connecting and leaning into the practices of breathing, of chakra work, etc., authentic connecting. And so those practices can be so meaningful in laying that foundation for more of the advanced practices. And then learning to weave whatever you are learning at the time or the abundance of practices in your tool belt for balancing and making sure that they kind of drip into our daily life. I like to call this microdosing, right? Microdosing has like a whole nother meaning, especially in the plant medicine world. But we can also microdose with meditation, breath work, chakra work, mindfulness, etc. And so learning to weave those practices into the little moments in our life that we often forget about. And the more that we weave them into our daily life, the more natural they become. So along this practice of microdosing mindfulness. So once we learn that we can truly weave Tantra into our daily life, these unfoldings become more and more and more, and we are just living very organically a tantric life. And probably a lot of you are already living a tantric life and you don't even know that you're doing it yet. So again, Tantra is not a quick fix, but if you are open-minded to learn and to move with the path of Tantra, the practices, even just starting with a couple or a few, can be life-changing. All right, so I encourage you now to find a tantric guide. Hopefully that's Earth Tantra, but if it isn't, that's okay too. There's many wonderful trusting guides out there. And soon you'll see a video on how do you find a trusting guide in today's age, right? So we will talk more about that soon. All right, so thanks for joining me, and I hope that you have a beautiful, incredible day.